Alberta is still facing obstacles when it comes to getting oil to Tidewater. The Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion has been approved, but it is still facing challenges. So an alternative solution worth billions of dollars could still be considered. A company called G7G Railway envisions hauling Alberta bitumen on a brand new rail line connecting Alberta to Alaska. Starting near Fort McMurray, the line would run 2,400 kilometers through northern BC, up through the Yukon and into Alaska, winding up in Delta Junction. The price tag would be about $30 billion. The company says it has the financial backing. It just needs government approval. Danielle Smith from Global News Radio 770 CHQR joins us on this one. It's that government approval piece, Danielle.
Well, I'm going to be talking with them today. I don't know if I've ever really seen a major infrastructure project like this before, where they go and do a massive broad-based national media advertising campaign saying, hey, we don't want government money. We have the private sector money. We will get more of the private sector money. The business case makes sense. Once we have this port fully developed, it's 4 days less to get to Asian markets than any other ports off that same coast. Like the business case is there. All they're asking for is for government to let them do it. And so that is going to be interesting to see what the barriers to that might be. Number one, because they're going to be transporting up to Alaska, the tanker ban off the BC coast doesn't apply because we already know that there are tankers going off the Alaska coast, so they're not going to have to wrangle with that. The big issue is, I get the sense, and I don't know if this is affirmed in law or if it would require a legal change, CP and CN essentially have a lock on the market. Those are the two railways that operate across the country. And in some ways, it's their own fault if they haven't come forward with this kind of bold proposal to do it themselves, that some other private sector player is moving in. Question is, are governments going to stand in the way and prevent this new player, even though all of the benefits seem to make sense, certainly on paper and certainly for the residents of those communities, or whether they're going to just put up a bunch of barriers. And I think that's what they're testing the waters with this national campaign.
Well, aren't the environmental concerns greater when it comes to a rail line than it is a pipeline? And if the government won't approve a pipeline, then
I guess the way to look at this is that this is not just about oil. This is about every product that could possibly be transported by rail, including when you think of how underserved our northern communities are. Just talk to anyone who lives in a northern community about what they're paying for milk, what they're paying for gasoline, what they're paying even to get appliances delivered. I think you could make a very strong case about the need for rail service in those areas to service those communities. Plus, just look at all of the mines and minerals development that we have in in our northern communities, how they need an easier access to market. So I think if it's framed as only being about oil, sure, maybe you'd have to assess those problems. But I think that they're quite wise in talking about consumer product movement and talking about the development of all of the other resources that could be moved. And remember, it goes two ways. Once you've exported and you have the capacity, you can also import, and that becomes the avenue to bring a bunch of consumer goods across the rest of the country, hooking in to Fort McMurray and ultimately down to Edmonton. So I think that this is a pretty exciting proposal. So I'm looking forward to talking it through with them.
More on Danielle's show starting at 9:30 on Global News Radio. Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah, thank you.